Yay!
We scared our producer. She's like, what the fuck?
Maybe everyone who's listening too is like, what the hell was that?
Woo!
Woo!
We're excited, people. We made it. A year.
A year.
53 episodes. 52 episodes.
We did 52?
Without
52.
killing each other.
Yet.
Yeah.
There's still time today.
There's still time. Maybe we'll see how this ends. Yeah, we did 52 of these things. You believe that?
That's crazy. Huh.
That's pretty crazy.
That's pretty good.
So let's see. I don't know if we told this story about how we met. Like
we never did. No.
So we actually met on the
Meetup
site.
Meetup.com.
You threw up like Horror Geeks Wanted.
Yeah, Horror Geeks Wanted group to come talk about horror, anything horror related, to movies, to shows, to experiences, and that's how I met these fuckers.
And she regretted it ever since. She would not let me live that down.
Yep.
I regret meeting you too. But no, honestly, I've been trying to get a podcast up for a very long time. I was on another podcast for a while, just, it's the same thing a lot of the times, and I wanted something new. And horror is something that I really love. That's my passion. I want to direct a horror short. I watch horror movies. I bought nothing but horror movies for like 5 years on DVD. So if you look at my collection, it's nothing but horror movies, And so I'm kind of happy that this podcast is going very well.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about that.
Me too. And I never saw myself doing a horror podcast.
Yeah,
I've never saw this. Yeah.
I was actually nervous about pitching you the ideas. Like, I don't know, should we be down for that?
Well, no, but I think it's fun because I live and breathe horror as well. It's my favorite and I'm obsessed with it. So, and it's like, well, what better way is to talk about it? And so this kind of intertwined, Yeah. So I'm excited that this ended up happening.
So did you think we'd last a year?
No, I nope. Because people bail, right?
Yeah.
People flake out. People they say they want to do something, but then no one shows up, or because my background is doing short films and stuff, so you're kind of left on your own. You're left hanging. So I was like, let's see if these people will follow through, and you guys did. So, and I'm pretty sure you probably felt the same way about me. Like, who the fuck is this crazy, annoying pumpkin spice lover that wants to hang out with us?
You're a bitch.
Hey now.
No, I had the similar experiences. I ventured out and tried to get my own podcast for about 2-3 years. I was trying to get my own podcast going.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually going to do a podcast with someone out of Soledad. We were going to do something like movies and music and kind of mix it in with local musicians and indie musicians and interview them about their craft.
Mm-hmm.
He got a new job, and so that kind of fell through. I kept bugging him, say, "Hey, are we gonna do this? I'll drive out there. It's not a big deal."
Yeah.
But never got back to me. I actually had one show actually go through with a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
We did 3 episodes. Only one of them aired.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Was that horror or just movies in general?
It was all movies. It was like movie of the week kind of thing. But we were gonna do something like movies, and then we're going to talk comic books as well.
Okay.
Because I'm a big comic nerd, and I love comic books, and so me and
just
him...
a nerd.
Yeah, and so me and him kind of clicked at that, and then his schedule got busy, and then it just fell to the wayside. Yeah, so I set things up, and I got profiles in the account already, and then I had no show.
That sucks.
So I was like, God damn it.
Well, I'm glad that didn't work out. I don't mean it that way, but I'm glad formulated.
Yeah, I'm glad too, because this about a year later, 2 years later, we see your ad on the meetup, and then, we were curious, we went, and
we were the only ones that showed up.
They were the only ones that I had 8 people say they were gonna attend, and you 2 were the only ones that showed up.
I was trying to put her over, so a bunch of people showed up. I was trying to put us over, but
and also I felt like we hit it off.
Yeah.
Right away.
Yeah.
Like, right away. It wasn't even like we didn't. I mean, we did know each other, so
Yeah.
we formal like, hi,
Yeah.
blah blah blah.
But I knew
right away we started talking.
I knew
like,
we were going to hit it off because you asked me, what sign are you? And I asked everybody that. And I was like, I don't want to ask yet, but I'll wait. And then you're the one that did it.
I'm just going to.
Yep. You're the one that did it. So, but yes, but it's hard to find, I don't know, especially because we don't live in like a city, you know, none of us live in a big city. So it is hard to find people that like this genre.
Yeah.
It is really, it's more popular if you're like in LA or if you're in SF or, you know, like there's more people. But when you're in like a smaller community, it's really tough. Like they're
really
out there,
is.
but it's really hard to find them.
Yeah, it's like they're all in their shells.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And a lot of them are introverts too. And I am. So I you know, I just moved here. So I was like, I'm trying to put myself out there. Let's see. So I got myself out of my comfort zone and then just did it. So
yeah, I was an introvert too. It wasn't until like I started doing like wrestling that kind of brought me out of my shell and it kind of made me put myself out there. And then of course with my lady, she's always pushing me to network with people. It's like, to me, I don't want to network with people. It's not because I don't feel like I should work with anyone. It's just because I don't know. I'm an introvert, so I don't want to go and conversate and communicate and network with people. But you know, my lady's always pushing me. She's like, you need to do this because that's how you're gonna get yourself over. Like, you know, do that. You know. But you know, I'm glad this worked out. 52 episodes.
Can't believe that.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
We lasted this long. This is our final episode, by the way. So
shut up.
we're gonna get canceled by TVZ Studios. Again, putting myself over.
But we have exciting things like coming up for this year. You know, we're halfway over, but like soon as fall and winter hit, we have like really exciting things that we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and did you ever think this would evolve into more than a podcast? Whereas like now we're doing shorts and we're going to be doing the films.
I mean, I always wanted because like coming from a film background, all of my people that were my crew, we all live like way far and like they're all like everyone's doing their own thing. So it's like I did want to meet people that did want to do stuff like this. So I am glad we're kind of like combining the two because I think that's a perfect couple, you know, perfect balance.
Yeah.
So
I have fun doing these.
yeah, me too.
You know, it's too bad our producer is like Vince McMahon. She's like a fucking heel. I can't give her a stunner because like I can't air that. I'd be like, you can't do that. But, you know, it's all good. It's all in fun here. We have fun doing these, and we appreciate everyone out there, man, for listening and downloading the episodes.
Yeah.
We want to send a shout-out to all our guests out there that took the time to be interviewed by us. You know, Outcast, Bruce, Ed Dougherty, and
Spooky Movies.
Josh,
yeah.
Which he's going to be making an appearance soon. So.
Oh, he is?
Yeah.
We're going to... Oh, okay.
Yeah,
cool.
He's going to be making an appearance soon.
Nice.
So me and Lisa, we went and got a few clips from some of our episodes, and we're gonna play some of these clips for us, and then we're gonna talk about them and see if we still feel the same way.
Okay.
But before we get there, I know you had something on your chest, so do you want to get it off?
Wait, what was it?
Area 51.
Oh yes! Oh my god! Okay. I just want to say, this is the best time for the internet right now because of the whole storming Area 51. And it's been on Facebook. I don't know. The thing is, I don't even know who made it, but it's over 1 million people now. And it's funny because Joe Rogan posted a thing on it because he's always talking about Area 51 on his podcast. And he posted on his Instagram. He's like, I kind of feel responsible for this raid. But people are just going nuts. Like, it's a joke, but the government is watching. And they made it to the news. Like, there's so many memes. Celebrities are now, like, joking about it. Like, Keanu Reeves, Chuck Norris.
Oh, that was great. I love
it's
that.
so great.
I was like, Area 51, I'm coming. And
Yeah.
then Chuck Norris, me too.
Yeah. Arnold
Awesome.
Schwarzenegger, like, everybody. So, I just love... This is what the internet should be about. Bringing everybody together for the most ridiculous reason, but for fun, right?
Yeah.
But I am wondering how many people are actually going to show up.
I can almost guarantee you a lot of people are going to show up.
I think people are going to show up too, but they have like, they can shoot you. I heard about like a tour bus. I don't know if this was last year. It was more of a recent story, but this tour bus ended up like there, not on purpose. It was like an accident, and they all came out with guns, and like I think they had to get off the bus, and they were ultimately charged. But what happened is I think the driver is the one that got charged $650 fine.
What?
So yeah, so they're not messing around, you know. But I don't know. And then I don't know if you know who Bob Lazar is, but he's the one that claimed that he worked there, and he's the one that got like that story out. And he's like, nobody go there. You know, the aliens are not there anymore. Like, and then there's this whole thing about how people want to clap cheeks. Like, I want to clap those alien cheeks. And then someone in the comment on Bob Lazar's Instagram, he's like, Bob Lazar just wants those cheeks for himself. That's the most ridiculous shit ever. Like,
that's pretty funny because there's a meme of saying the alien cheeks you want, and it's like the green alien from Star Trek.
Yeah.
And then I guess the cheeks that you really want is Marilyn Manson with
the boobs,
and his crotchless pants.
Yeah. It's so ridiculous. I love it though. So they supposedly September 20th, that's when the raid's supposed to happen, but so I'm going to be watching like the news and like who actually shows up, you know?
I'm definitely going to be watching social media on that day because you know someone's going to be trying to live stream that shit.
Oh, for sure. For sure. And someone made like another thing about the whole Fire Festival. They had that guy's image and it's like, yo, I'm charging like $1,000 for VIP at Area 51.
That's great.
So funny. But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Area 51 raid people. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Anything you've seen, or with the exception of today's viewing?
No, but I did want to talk about, did you watch the Scream Resurrection VH1 thing?
I heard it was fucking terrible.
I haven't seen it, and I heard it was a shit show.
It was terrible from what I heard. Like, I listened to a review on it, and they spent like 2 hours just shitting on it.
Really?
Yeah. I was
Did
like,
they say why? Like, was the acting bad?
Acting was terrible. There was no smart characters. The story was bad. They set up the killers in the final, in the final 2 episodes for some reason.
What?
And then the final episode was dedicated to a football player. Like half the episode was dedicated to the football player getting a scholarship. I guess that was a big plot point early on because he was trying to be the star quarterback, but he was backup. Star quarterback gets killed, and then he takes his spot.
Oh, they made it all like jock. That sucks.
Yeah, and so I don't know. I didn't see it. Everyone says, "Oh, Roger Jackson, the Ghost Mask, that's back. That's gonna be good." But
everything else.
And it's on VH1 for crying out loud.
Yeah.
So
I don't even know if VH1...
How far could you go with that?
I don't even know if VH1 still existed, but yeah, I don't know. I do want to see it though, but I know I'm going to hate it.
Don't waste 6 hours. It's six episodes. Don't waste it. You're better off watching Slasher.
Yeah.
Better off. It's or rewatching the first 2 seasons.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, no, Scream Resurrection is not a very good series, from what I heard. Yeah. I haven't seen it, I'm not going to see it, and I'm not interested, so I'm just not going to. I'm not going to waste my time doing that shit.
Yeah.
I already wasted my time watching Humanoids from the Deep.
Oh my god, I haven't seen that forever.
Holy shit, this is like the sleazier version of the creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah, it is. It totally is.
And then the creatures rape women. It's like...
The cover. I mean, if you just look at the cover of it.
That's so exploitive.
Yeah, I know. It's like a naked woman on like lying down on the beach or something.
Or her legs all spread.
Yeah.
And then eyes over the mountains like...
Ridiculous.
That's great. But we're definitely going to talk about that next week. Because that's going to be...
Oh, okay.
As a aquatic horror.
Yeah.
Alright, so with that, without further ado, we're going to go into our best stuff.
Best of.
And the first clip is Elisa going off on Tarantino.
Oh.
From our Thanksgiving episode. Which I actually kind of thought it was fun. And then we kind of blew up after that. But I thought it was fun. But yeah, so let's take it away. Let's hear what Elisa has to say about Quentin. The guy from Jackie Brown, Samuel L. Jackson's character, Jules.
Okay, what do you think is his best film? Do you even like one of his films?
No, I like Tarantino. Again, when I went to film school, every guy like jerked off to him because, and I couldn't. They would not shut up about Tarantino. And I worked on a film called Tarantino in Jail, which like we casted this guy to play Tarantino and have everything make sense of his movies. So I got like over it, you know, because I was like, there's so many better directors out there that aren't recognized, but all I heard was Tarantino. So I got really sick of it real quick. But I do like him. I just don't. I'm not gonna like
like
Bust a nut over him.
But the thing is like he's a fucking fan making movies, and you're a fan of movies. How the fuck are you gonna hate his movies? He's a fan. He's basically doing what you want to do.
I can see the people that don't like him. I can see why, because he is.
I think the people that don't like him are the ones that are just not present company excluded, because I don't know if you are one.
No,
but
I just said
pretentious
I do
people
like
are
him.
pretentious. So they're just someone that just have highbrow. Someone that's just a little too highbrow and don't get it.
I feel, because my husband hates him, so I feel like the
Uh-oh.
dialogue.
Rudy's gonna hate you.
Well, Rudy's very picky, but I just feel like I could see like, oh, gotta have that dialogue. To me, I like a little more visual. I do like Tarantino. I'm not saying I hate him. I do like him, and I'm actually excited for his new film because it has Leonardo DiCaprio in it,
And Brad Pitt.
And it's about like the Manson and Hollywood and stuff. So I am like into that. I just think sometimes I can't just sit down and watch a Tarantino movie. I have to be in the mood. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like you got to prepare yourself. But I think he does like Kill Bill. I really liked. I love Uma Thurman.
That was a great movie.
And I thought that was a really good.
Eight.
I thought it was a really good, strong female performance. So I do like him. I just think I can't just like sit down. I have to like be prepared because I don't like too much talking. Too much like it's too much, you know. So it's like
One thing I love about Tarantino though is that like he draws it out.
Are you done?
Are you done?
Are you done yet?
I don't like too much talking, and yet you do a majority of the talking on the show.
Somebody's got to.
Wow.
All right, so do you still feel that same way?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do. I mean, that was Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving episode. Slow month for horror.
Yeah. No, I like I said, I like him. I don't hate him. I just don't like a lot of dialogue all the time. I think you have to be in the right mood for that. And yeah, I don't know. Like I do think he's a good filmmaker. I just do think he rips a lot of stuff off. But, you know.
Which I counterpoint later on, but I cut that off just for time because
Yeah.
we don't
Well,
have
I just
2
mentioned
hours
it.
to do that.
I know.
We don't got 2 hours to argue about that.
Yeah.
But you are still excited about his movie?
I am. It's coming out this month.
2
Once
weeks,
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I am really excited for that. So we'll see how that
despite
is.
the fact that Margot Robbie's not in it as much.
What do you mean?
Like, she's not a central figure of the movie.
Oh, she's not. She's just like in the background.
Yeah, she's in the
Well, I'm
background.
seeing it for Leo. I know the Manson isn't. I know the Manson storyline. That's not a main.
Yeah.
That's just kind of like what's going on at the time of this. He's like an aging film star, right? And his stunt double. So, what I am curious though is Kurt Russell's stuntman Mike in
Stuntman
this.
Bob.
They don't call him stuntman Mike.
No, because if you watch Death Proof,
Yeah.
he's like, oh no, I became a stuntman. I was like, who? Like, my brother was a stuntman. I was like, who's your brother? Stuntman Bob.
So he's the brother in this.
Yeah, supposed to be the brother.
Oh, okay.
Supposedly.
Interesting.
So, that'd be funny how to see. But they got a really great cast. Luke
I know,
Perry, his
yeah.
final role.
Yeah.
It's kind of great actually, to see Luke Perry in a Tarantino movie, especially
Yeah.
in this movie.
Yeah.
Especially a lot of reviews, man. A lot of people are very happy about this movie, so I'm
That's
very
good.
curious. So I'm gonna be there opening night for sure.
Opening night.
Opening night.
I'll be behind you talking. No, just kidding.
I'm gonna throw your
Be in
ass
front
out.
of him in a big hat.
I know, right? I mean, the whole movie is probably going to be talking. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my god.
Right.
I can already imagine a review
Well,
for that
Tarantino is
show.
an Aries, isn't he?
He is, and they do like talking.
Oh god.
But no, I'm excited to see it. So,
Yeah, it's gonna be a fun movie, and
Yeah.
I think we should review that.
yeah, for sure.
I think so. We
Is
should
there a
review
bunch
that.
of hate for Leonardo DiCaprio
No.
lately?
No, everybody loves Leo.
I saw all this stuff on social media about how
He dates younger women.
he only
He does.
dates younger women,
Models.
and that he won't. So I guess what they were referencing was where they, in the article, it said he refuses to date anyone older, but that's not based on anything except for that they see him with younger
Yeah, like he's never
women.
said
like
that.
he's never said, "I won't date anyone
Right.
my age."
Yeah, it's
So,
the tabloids.
I thought that was important to come on.
Yeah, and they
I'm
said,
all
oh,
same
he.
here.
They said, oh, he only dates blondes, but he's dating a brunette. So,
Yeah,
you know,
figure.
yeah.
yeah.
So with that being said, we move on to our Valentine episode.
This is your pick?
This is my pick.
Okay.
This is actually a funny one, actually, because I love Josh's reaction
Yeah.
to my theory. I thought it was great. I should have ended it there, but I do like the way it went later on. But no, I still don't like Valentine.
Hater.
But with that being said, let's go on to the clip and see why I don't like this movie. I probably still don't like this movie.
Oh, come on. Give it a chance.
Garbage.
Oh my god, my foot fell asleep and now it's awake again. Oh my god. No. Why does this always happen to me?
It's going to be a scene with Dorothy where you do see her get killed, but because they wanted it to be more mysterious, they, you know.
Okay, so let me ask you. I have a theory. I don't know. Elisa doesn't agree with my theory, but do you think there were 2 killers in the movie?
No.
No, there's not. There's one.
I don't think that the plot is strong enough to... I don't even think they know if there would be 2 killers in the movie. Because I feel like the ending is quite rushed. Now, I don't hate this movie, by the way, just to say. Like, I do enjoy watching it. But I do think it takes itself quite seriously. And as a result, I take it a bit more seriously than I should. So I... analyze the plot maybe a little bit more. And there's no way the killer could have done what they did without another person. But I think that's more to do with the storytelling's failings than the actual notion that maybe there is a second killer.
I always thought that Dorothy was always the killer.
No. Okay, so here's...
Okay, so here's...
Cutting me off.
Yeah, I'm always cutting you off.
Always.
You're wrong.
I'm not wrong!
You're wrong!
It's even written in the thing!
Okay, so I recently watched this, and Ruthie sees the killer.
Yeah.
Right? And the killer is dragging the maid. Ruthie grabs the pool cue and smacks the killer right on the cheek, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so at the end, when you see Dorothy in the mask, you see the bruise right there. And I went back and lined both those scenes up. It's right exactly where the pew hit her.
Maybe they just,
I think that because she has motive to kill the scammer, her maid, and
her friends?
No, not her friends. Yeah, the scammer and the maid and Ruthie. And, Adam has motive to kill Gary and the 3 other friends.
So, okay.
Because if you really look at it, that ending just... It's like out of nowhere. She pops up.
Great.
She pops out, and then all of a sudden, the dude unloads a full clip into her.
Okay, so here's the thing. Let me explain that. So...
Please, mansplain it to me.
I will mansplain it to you. So you see the killer pop out and then they both fall down the stairs, right? Adam was behind and made it look like it was Dorothy. He put the outfit on her and he pushed her so they would fall down the stairs. Then he shoots because he tries to save the day. So he's the killer. He framed Dorothy. She was the one that caused him all that horrible, adolescent stuff where he had to go to reform school and he was embarrassed. So he is the reason she is the reason why he became the way he did. So, and then if you look at the very ending, the nosebleed, boom.
You're wrong.
No,
everyone
thinks that.
In certain scenes, you don't see the nosebleed. Is what I'm getting at too. Because when the killer kills the scammer at Dorothy's house, you don't see the nosebleed.
He doesn't always have it.
Well. I love his reaction to that.
It's all calm.
No.
Yeah. No, I don't actually.
I don't know. I still think there's 2 killers.
Because you're crazy. You're insane.
I'm not insane.
And you don't listen.
I'm not insane. I just think, I don't know. They're just, he points it out. There's it's, implausible for him to do it, but it's not because the plot's strong enough. It's because... It's a shitty movie.
No, it's a fantastic movie.
It's a shitty made movie.
It's a fantastic movie.
I don't know. I mean, this is one of my guilty pleasures, and I do watch it on occasion on Valentine's Day.
You mean every Valentine's Day?
Every
Don't lie.
Valentine's
Don't lie.
Day. I doubled that with My Bloody Valentine. So
Yeah, it's a good perfect marathon for
Yeah, it
Valentine's
is.
Day.
Except not 3D. 3D's not that
3D
fun.
sucked.
3D was like a CW TV movie. That's what that was.
Oh my god, so bad.
Oh god, don't even start on that. We probably have to review that on Valentine's Day.
No.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Wasn't Valentine. I don't feel like it's aged very well.
You don't?
I don't think so.
Why? Like the look of it or the vibe?
The look, the vibe. It's and he even points this out too in earlier on in the episode. You know, it's just of its time. It's basically of its time. Like if you watch like I Know What You Did Last Summer,
Yeah.
that movie, I don't think that has aged very well either.
It's very 90s,
It's very
you know.
90s, especially this one is early 2000s.
Early 2000s,
and
yeah.
It's just like right on the cusp of like Friends and shit.
Yeah.
Like that. It's like I don't know, but Valentine for me still hasn't aged well. I still think My Bloody Valentine is a better fucking movie. And actually, that was probably one of my favorite episodes. Talking to him,
Yeah, he was great.
That was really good. Hopefully, we have him on again soon.
Yeah.
Did you ever? Because you even mentioned this on the episode. Did you ever read the book?
Yeah, I did.
So
The book is a lot different than the movie. In the book, basically, it's the same formula. Something happens to this guy when he's younger, and he takes it out on revenge. But in the book, they call them the female group of friends. They're called like the elements, like earth, air, fire, water, and they all die with the element. Like, for example, like earth is like buried, and fire, obviously, fire, water. So the way that they did that is very cool. But I do feel the book was a little more mature than the movie, because something I don't want to give spoilers to the book, but something happens at the end and it's like really heavy. That happens to the main character. But yeah, different, totally different. It takes place in New York, not San Francisco. So, but still a good read. I still enjoyed it.
no. I can't. I just fucking can't. They should remake this movie.
No, how dare you? They're gonna fill it with
Blumhouse should remake
no,
this movie.
no.
This is a total Blumhouse remake.
No.
Black Christmas and now Valentine. Yep, there you
Why?
go.
Why are you doing this?
Well, there you go. Just
no.
to piss you off.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. Valentine's not my favorite, but My Bloody Valentine for me is still.
Okay, let me ask why. Because I love My Bloody Valentine as well, but why do you like that a lot better?
I actually like it because one, the kills are very great. The practical effects in that are fucking terrific. I like the characters. Every single character in there is annoying, but they're not annoying like how every single character in Valentine is annoying. You know?
But there's a purpose of why they're annoying.
Yeah, but
And you want to see them get killed.
yeah, but unlike My Bloody Valentine, like you want to see these guys make it out. You know what I mean? Like you like these characters.
Do you think My Bloody Valentine had more of a female-male balance than Valentine? Because Valentine is more female.
Because every time because even when they went into the cave, it was 4 guys and 4 girls.
Yeah. So
You know
do you
what I
think
mean?
if Valentine had more men in it, you might have liked it better?
No,
No.
because he even says it too. It's like because if they didn't take itself so serious,
Mm-hmm.
this movie would have been better. If it was more tongue in cheek,
Mm-hmm.
the movie would have been better. Honestly, in my opinion, I think Valentine suffers from being overtly serious at times, dealing with the alcoholism. It's like
Yeah.
she doesn't care if he fucking drinks. And the way she says it is kind of shallow too. It's like, oh, you drinking? Like what? Like no.
I
dude.
wonder if because remember we had a conversation how there was a lot of editing, like it was supposed to be more violent. I wonder if that has anything to do with it.
Well, the MPAA did fucking cut this film
A lot.
to shreds.
Yeah.
And, you know, a thing, too, you gotta think about Columbine had happened. And so, you know, a lot of horror movies and a lot of films got cut because of that.
Disturbing behavior. Yeah.
And, you know, even though these weren't students,
Mm-hmm.
they were targeting a teenage demographic.
Yeah.
I mean, especially like the women of the time.
Yeah.
You know
Denise
what I mean?
Richards. Yeah.
And so to me, it's like, even had it been more brutal,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have saved this movie. I think it needed to be really tongue in cheek, like Urban Legend or Scream,
Mm-hmm.
and this movie would have worked better.
I don't know. I'm one of the people that loves this movie. I think it's fun. I don't take it too serious. I think the friendships are fun. I think the kills are great. The mask is pretty original and great. I don't know. I really enjoy this movie. So, and I'm one of the rare people. Yep. Crossbow.
Oh my god, man, why are we friends? But yeah, that's pretty much my rant. I'm pretty sure we will revisit this rant again.
Probably it's gonna be like our yearly fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be our
Yeah.
annual argument.
Yeah, every
For
year,
sure.
every year. It's tradition.
Right, that should be our tradition.
Yeah.
We should actually make a skit about that.
What else do we argue on? Like what films?
I think that's pretty.
Is that like the main one?
I think
Valentine?
that's the main one.
That's pretty crazy that it's Valentine. That's the one out of all of them that is like
I'm
our
pretty sure
rant.
there's another one, but I think that's the one we fucking like totally separate ways. You know what I mean? I think we're just totally opposite on that.
But what? Which one?
Valentine.
Oh,
Yeah, what do you think?
I thought you were gonna mention another film.
No, but I'm saying I'm pretty sure they are.
Yeah.
But that's the only one to me that really sticks out because we have heated arguments about that movie.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Fucking Valentine.
And not a lot of people talk about that movie either.
That's gonna be the catalyst of why our show ends. that fucking shitty movie.
Oh my god. Bite
You like
your
Maniac,
tongue.
right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, see, then we agree on that. So
Yeah.
that's all that matters.
Did you see the remake of Maniac?
I have not.
You
I
gotta
watched
see
the
it.
first half hour and I wasn't into it.
I know, and I was like that too, and I was really upset after like hearing they were gonna remake it. But then I sat down, I was like, I'm just gonna do this, and I know it was gonna be like his POV.
But I heard it switches though.
A little bit towards the
Halfway.
end. A little bit. Yeah.
I heard it was like 30 minutes into the film or like halfway through the film, like it switches from point of view to third person.
I don't want to give it away. It's not entirely that, but there are moments where that does happen. But the ending was really awesome. I really did like the ending and that shot.
I'm gonna have to watch that.
And Elijah Wood is a surprise, because a lot of people at that time were like, "Oh, Frodo's gonna be in a horror movie. Like, what the hell?" And he's
The
so
irony
different looking.
Is that he actually produces horror movies?
Right. But he's a huge horror fan. But
Yeah.
so like a lot of people gave him a hard time. But then when Sin City came out and he did, what was the character?
The mute.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
glasses.
And he kicked Mars' ass.
He could prove that he can play like a creep, and he did. I think he did play a really good creep.
I do too. I think he was really good.
Yeah.
I think he was utilized very well in that
Yeah.
movie for sure. But okay, I don't even know how to segue into this one. I gotta work on my segue game. Okay, so the next one is actually a personal experience from Elisa, and this is from our Urban Legends episode. This is one of our earlier episodes where we were suffering in the living room because it was so fucking hot.
It was so hot that day.
Today, it's a little bit better, but
Yeah.
it's because we got like an AC going. So this is basically Elisa going on about the babysitter urban legend and kind of ties in with her personal experience and kind of a creepy ending to her experience. So, and a little faux pas on her part, which I thought was pretty funny.
A
So,
faux pas.
Faux pas. So if you can spot it, good for you. So here we go.
Just to make me look wrong.
Someone's gotta
What's
do
the
it.
faux pas?
It's when you say fortunately instead of unfortunately.
Oh.
Coincidence, and there's really no lividity to it. But just 5 players out of 20. That's to me. That's
Like
wow.
that says something. I mean,
Yeah.
Those are numbers. Like you could be skeptic all you want, but when there's numbers like that, I don't know.
Yeah. So that's my that's one of my urban legends, the Madden Curse.
Very cool. All right, so we'll get into mine. So this one I kind of grew up with, as a lot of girls. This is called The Babysitter and the Man Upstairs. So story goes, a babysitter goes over to a big house. House is kind of dark, sometimes it's on a dark and stormy night. Each story will vary. The parents, give her all the information she needs to know. They say the kids are upstairs asleep, so don't really interrupt them that much. And then the parents leave. So then the girl... Nice sound effect.
Yeah, right.
Breaks the tension there. So then the girl, she's in the house, maybe watching TV, maybe doing homework, whatever. Time goes by, and then she gets phone calls, and the phone call says, have you checked the children, or something along those lines. And then she gets kind of freaked out, because she's like a young teenager and like, who the hell's calling me? Who's doing this? So as the night progresses, she gets more of these phone calls, and then it says, why haven't you checked the children? So this is when she gets really scared, and she calls the cops. And the cops will, they'll say, okay, we'll trace the phone calls. We'll see like where these phone calls are coming from. So then eventually that happens, and they call her and they say the calls are coming from inside the house. And then she gets freaked out. And then different stories go. She runs outside. Some say she runs upstairs and the children are murdered. Some say the children aren't murdered. And the parents come home and everyone's fine, but that there was a man hiding upstairs making these phone calls to her. So, you'll get tons of different variations of the story. And I looked into this because it is such a scary story because, so many young girls will babysit, and they're young. Like some babysitters are even like 13, 14 years old, depending.
Yeah, my first babysitting job.
Yeah.
Like 12.
It's like your first job, really, for a young girl. So I don't know, just hearing that growing up, it was scary. And then you had, not to mention movies, but I'll mention movies. There were movies based off of this, When a Stranger Calls, even Black Christmas in a way, the creepy phone calls, the guys inside the house. He Knows You're Not Alone. There's
Black
a ton.
Christmas. Did you say Black Christmas already?
Yeah, Black Christmas.
Halloween is
Halloween,
also
another one.
variation.
Babysitters being stalked.
And the thing about that urban legend too is that it's so real and it's so close to home.
Oh yeah.
It makes the suburbs feel dangerous.
Absolutely.
It's like nowhere is safe now. Like
right.
You can be in a gated community and then receive those phone calls and then have that revelation that it's coming from inside.
It's coming from inside. And then nowadays, this legend is kind of hard because of, caller ID, or also people don't really have phones inside their houses anymore. People have cell phones.
Yeah.
So this legend, it is a little
dated.
It's dated and aged, but it is still scary. And I remember because when I had my first babysitting job, I was older. I was like 17, 18. And my sister was originally supposed to be the babysitter for this kid, but she couldn't make it. So she's like, oh, do you want to replace me? It's good money. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And it was in December, so it was super cold, super dark. And I think it was raining or drizzling or something. So I go and I drive. This house is legitimately in the middle of nowhere. They have a gate and there's like a code to get in. And then I go in, they have a barn house on the property. And that freaks me out too, because it was just pitch black. Like they didn't have a lot of lighting, but I was able to make out the barn house. And I'm like, okay, where am I? And then I pull in and they have this like huge house like on this land. And the kid was like a really scared kid. He was 4 years old. He didn't even like say hi to me. He like ran away, and I was trying to find him in this big house by myself. It was creepy, and then I always had like knowing the movies I've seen and hearing this legend, it's like, oh shit, like what if this happens to me? Like I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. And cell phones back then sucked. You didn't have GPS on your phone. Like service sucked. So like it was a flip phone, So yeah, like that, it did scare me. Nothing happened, but you always had that in the back of your mind. Like what if?
Especially when when the wind blows through the house and the wood expands and it sounds like footsteps in there, like
the creaks and the cracks, and it's a strange house. You're not familiar with it, So I didn't. It was just kind of creepy.
Especially that little kid can jump out anywhere.
And he hid the whole night from me until I was like, "Do you want to watch a movie? Like, we'll watch the Polar Express," because that was the year the Polar Express came out. And it was around Christmas time. So he eventually sat down to watch that. But then like the whole night I was trying to find him and I was like, where is he? So it's very odd. But so I did research on this. And, there's also a documentary called Killer Legends that also touches on this as well.
Yeah.
But so this originated from an unsolved crime that happened in the 1950s in Missouri. So there was a girl named Janet Christman who was babysitting really young kid, and she knew the family. She was a babysitter before. A lot of people knew her, and the guy, the dad gave her direction, or told her what to do, like don't answer the door. He even like laid a shotgun out just in case. This was like back in the 50s, like people did that. So he kind of gave her like a heads up, like, just leave the light on, don't answer to anyone you don't know. And he gave her like all that information, and she was a pretty smart girl from like what everyone was saying. But they left, and it was a rural area that this happened at. And then no one knows what exactly happened in the house, but apparently around 10:30, the police got a phone call of a woman screaming, come quick, come quick. And they couldn't trace the phone call, so they don't know like if that was her. But fortunately, what happens to her is the parents came back and they found her murdered. The kid was okay. The kid wasn't hurt.
What you mean, unfortunately?
Huh?
What you mean, unfortunately?
Did I say fortunately?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. My head's all over the place. Yeah, so they found her, like, she was sexually harassed. They found her in a pool of blood. And they said the door was unlocked and the light was on. So there's been speculations on this, and there has been suspects, but they're saying they think she knew who her killer was, and they thought it was another guy that lived locally who had kids, and he would like make comments about her to other people, like, oh, she's developing nice, like just kind of creepy comments about her, and saying how he would like want to take her virginity. So, and then he knew she was babysitting that night because he originally wanted her to babysit his kids. So it's, nothing ever happened. Like he did like a lie detector test, but he was never, convicted of the crime. So her case remains unsolved, but,
Wow.
It's crazy. And then so around that time, you have to look back at the 50s. We didn't have social media. Our source of news was our parents, our neighbors, and like
whatever's on the radio,
or it was on the radio, or like one news channel at the time, and newspaper. So I think the Babysitter and the Man Upstairs, this really originated from that, and also in the 1960s in a similar area, women were getting attacked and sexually harassed a lot, babysitting, or on the college campus. So you hear all these different stories and things, and then that's kind of probably where this legend came from around that time. If a girl was going to go babysit, the mom would be like, don't, be careful, make sure, you don't want to open the doors or answer the phone. So I really think this is kind of what caused that. But yeah, it's crazy. Like you said, it's the suburbs. It's a rural area. You're not like, this isn't a place where you think you'd have to look behind your shoulder every second. Like this could happen in a nice, safe home, a nice, safe community. And that's what scares people the most, because it's not like a dangerous city, or, you don't have someone lurking, stalking you when you're walking down the street.
And that was Lisa and her urban legend on babysitting, and her creepy experience babysitting.
Yeah, it was really creepy. It really was. But I needed to clarify something. I made a mistake. So when I was listing movies that were based on this urban legend, I said He Knows You're Not Alone. That wasn't the movie I was talking about. I was talking about the Dennis Quaid one called Are You in the House Alone? Are You in the House Alone?
TV movie from 1978.
1978. Has like a brunette on the cover screaming. That was a good movie though for like a TV movie. She gets phone calls in the house, and there's like a rapist on the loose calling girls like in high school in their house. A young Dennis Quaid. So I just want to clarify that. I messed up the title. He Knows You're Not Alone has Tom Hanks in it before Tom Hanks was Tom Hanks.
Yeah. Before Tom Hanks was a brand.
Yeah, right? He's a brand now.
And so, did you do any other babysitting jobs after that incident? 'Cause I don't remember following up on
No, I did no babysitting jobs after that. It was just a weird experience. And the kid, like I'm just, because like after hearing that and listening, like, yeah, like he hid. I didn't even see him for like the first couple of hours, really. And I was just kind of walking around, and then I like sat in the living room, and eventually he came out. But I remember his name, Sebastian. He was like the scared little 4-year-old kid. But yeah, that was the last time.
You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Brahms.
What's that?
The Boy? You ever see The Boy? Ah, no.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
You've never seen The Boy?
No.
It's a movie.
The Boy.
It's about this American that goes over to England.
Wait, the puppet thing?
The little doll?
Yeah.
And the doll's alive?
Yeah, I haven't seen it. It has Lauren from Walking Dead.
Conrad, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god, you should watch that.
Is it good?
I like it, so that's all you need to know.
Well, sometimes.
Okay. Okay, here's the litmus test. Shan actually kind of enjoyed it, so...
It was alright.
Yeah, she enjoyed it.
I heard they're making a sequel.
Yeah, with Katie Holmes.
What?
Yeah.
Huh.
All bad.
Interesting. Katie Holmes isn't bad.
She's bad. She's terrible.
Hello, disturbing
She's
behavior.
terrible.
Teaching Mrs. Tingle.
She's peaked already. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. Listen, just because she's not with Tom Cruise anymore.
That's not even that. It's like Tom Cruise fucking blocked her career. That's what he did.
Yeah. Seinfeld.
It's like, it's fucking... He was the reason why she wasn't in Dark Knight.
It's messed up.
Yeah, it's fucked up. It's like, what?
Scientology.
When you're in a cult, you know?
That's what
When you're in a
happens.
cult,
They might listen. So
the cult gets you.
can't be talking about that. They
Right.
might get us, okay? They might be banging down the door, so... They know. But yeah, that actually was a fun episode, though.
I like
had-
doing that
I
episode.
had fun doing like a lot of those. And
Yeah.
that wasn't our last Urban Legends either. We did a couple more.
We did
after
more.
that.
Our Irish one, I think, was
St.
the,
Patty's Day.
that was the last
Yeah,
one.
our Irish one is St. Patty's Day, and then we also did one on Lenora,
Oh,
the
yeah.
crying woman.
Leonora.
And yeah, I thought that was a fun episode. That was on a very fucking hot day.
Was it?
Yeah, that was a hot day. I remember we were fucking sweating balls out there. I was like,
La Llorona?
no, I'm talking about Urban Legends.
Oh, yeah. That was a really hot day. What month was that? Was that July?
That was one of our first episodes.
So it's just really balls hot here in
Like
summer.
July, August, something like that.
Yeah, August gets really hot.
Yeah, can't wait. That's gonna suck.
Oh, man. We need to, like, can you rent, like, an igloo? Just, like,
yeah,
have an
right?
igloo in your
Would
house?
be soaked after.
I know.
We might have to like transfer over to the other studio.
Yeah,
for a
I
while.
think so until fall at least.
And
Yeah.
but no, I enjoy doing those. I like doing the research on those. I thought that was fun. But yeah, anything you want to add to that?
We are going to do more. And I also wanted to do a special episode where we actually test urban legends and see if they're real or not. And I know you're kind of a chicken on this one.
Yeah.
But for
no.
my birthday, I want to do that.
Oh my god.
So like
Your birthday's
testing.
coming up too, isn't it?
Yeah, August. So testing
Heck
Candyman,
yes.
testing Bloody Mary, the Midnight Game, all of those. Like I think would be fun to test.
God. If one of us dies, neither of us did it. I'm just letting you know. Or if one of us just happens to start speaking in gibberish, please call the exorcist right away. But yeah, we're definitely gonna do that. I'm not gonna do any of that shit.
Yeah, you are. That's my birthday gift.
Hell nah.
Maybe we can get some volunteers.
Yeah, right. We'll get the Mythbuster guys on the case.
Right? Oh my god.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. Urban Legends, that's always fun, especially because we live in a small community. Urban Legends is always the thing,
Yeah.
And moving on to what is always the thing, we're gonna move on to the thing that scares Elisa the most. Well,
Uh-oh.
not that, but the second thing that scares Elisa the most, and that's Zelda.
Ew, God. Ew. Scares me.
Ah man, what was that line she says?
Rachel.
No,
Or
what
which
was the other
one?
The other one, when she gets up out of the bed.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
you.
I'll get you. The
And your little
original.
dog, too.
Ew, see, I got the chills from that because I'm just picturing her face.
You mean the guy's face?
The new one, yeah, not the new Zelda. The original was like so
Okay,
scary.
hold up on that because
All
we're
right,
definitely
all
going
right.
to touch
Okay,
on
okay,
that.
okay,
Right,
okay. We need to
Here's
cover 'em
another test too of how well this movie holds up. Dare anyone to go fucking say Candyman in a fucking mirror?
I know.
I'll go do it now.
Go do it then.
You have to do it at
That
night.
movie did not scare me.
You have to
ever.
do it at night.
The movie scared me, and I was just like, "Oh shit, I can't,
Yeah.
I can't watch this." But it's again, when you watch it with an adult mind, you have a whole new appreciation
You
for what the
do.
movie is.
And you find out it is kind of a romantic story.
story.
Yeah.
It's a romance at heart.
It's a romance. Yeah. All right. So my next pick is people are gonna laugh at this, but whatever. Pet Cemetery, because when I was little, the sister Zelda,
It's not practical magic. No, I'm
Freaks.
joking.
the sister Zelda freaks me the fuck out.
No, Zelda scared me too.
I don't know. I don't like deformed, like gross, like bones cracking. Like I don't like that shit. And to see her in bed like that and just like all gross, and then like when the sister has a flashback of that,
and she's like trapped in that room with her, and I'm like, fuck. Like I don't know what it was. She just really terrified me. Looking back,
And then when she gets up out of the bed and runs up to the camera and
yes,
starts yelling,
ew, I
that's
hated
fucking.
that scene. Oh
That's
my god,
insane.
she
That's
scared me. So,
intense.
and it's funny because like my friend wasn't scared of Zelda, but she was scared of what's
Church?
his name? No, Church. She looks like the new Church. The bicyclist guy. What was his name in the movie? I always forget his name.
God damn it! I know what you're talking about.
She was scared of him because of the blood gash and stuff.
Yeah.
So we always like compared, who's more terrifying. But I don't know. And even like the tone of the film was just very creepy to me. And then at the end, when the little kid is under the bed and cuts the ankles.
Cut the Achilles.
Or
in
that
the back.
part
That
freaked
movie
me
didn't
out.
scare me, but I was just like,
I'm like, I never want my feet by a bed.
Yep.
Pascal.
What was it?
Pascal. Victor Pascal.
Victor, yeah. She was scared of Victor. But yeah, like, I don't know, like, the movie is just such a heavy tone, and even, like, I haven't revisited it in a while. I rewatched the second one recently.
Doesn't hold up as well.
Doesn't? I don't know, like, it's such a heavy movie, though.
It
The
is,
topic
but it's
is-
kind of clunky though if you watch it.
Yeah.
You watch it now, it doesn't hold up as well. Zelda still holds up.
She still freaks me out. Like, fuck that, you know?
Yeah,
I thought the makeup was kind of like I was watching it and I'm like the makeup looks weird. To
But
me.
that to me, when it's not perfect, that to me is creepier. Like if you look at Evil Dead, like their makeup,
See, I thought to me that Evil Dead that was good.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm comparing the makeup when it's not done perfectly polished and it's kind of chunky and gross. That scares me more. Actually,
I think to me, it looked like makeup to me. That's what
Zelda's did.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or man, I'm gonna have to look at it.
I
It's been a
haven't
long
seen it, but
time
she just
since
freaks. She's so gross and freaks me out. But I saw the trailer for the new one. I'm not a fan of that actor, but
what actor?
The main
Jason.
guy. I'm just not a fan of him. His face bothers me.
Jason Clarke.
Yeah, it's like his face.
But he's an everyday man though, so I think you would need someone like that.
Yeah, and I don't know, like they're not gonna have John Lithgow doesn't really have an accent in it, and I'm just like, he's not gonna say down that road there, like Herman Munster was perfect. It's in the cup on the table.
Get me one too.
I didn't mean for her to get it, but now you're yelling at her, so now she feels all. It's in the panda cup. Panda.
Okay.
The panda.
1, 2, go. All right. So does she still scare you?
Rachel. Yes, she does, and the new one was a letdown.
No, not that bad. I know
She
I
was-
know we
Thank you.
we agree on that part, but we disagree on the movie in general.
They just totally missed the boat and their opportunity for Zelda in the new one. I mean, she was barely in it. Same with Victor, too.
Yeah, Victor was hardly in it.
He was hard. Those were the two scariest, and they were hardly in it.
So let me ask you: have you rewatched the original since then?
When we did our Pet Cemetery
Or
episode,
after
I watched it before.
you watched it?
Yeah.
And
She still holds up as a...
the movie itself does. I'm asking about the movie.
There's faults in the movie, but I definitely think the tone of it is pretty heavy, and I don't know. I mean, it's not perfect. I do think it holds up.
I know. I watched it prior to the remake. I remember I watched it the night before.
Mm-hmm.
We
almost had water thrown in the face.
Not even the water.
Behind the scenes.
I would have had the mug hit my face.
Behind the scenes.
I'm all doing it on purpose.
Well, it is hot. You wanted a splash.
Yeah, but not a scar.
I know.
Thank you, by the way. Fucking producer finally made herself useful. Give me a cup of coffee.
Oh.
Wow. Anyway.
More!
Talking
That's funny.
shit.
Because you're supposed to drink room temperature water. It's better for your intestines and your colon.
Yeah.
It's all about the colon, you guys. That colon health. Sponsorship for colon health here.
She's an advocate for colon health.
What's that? Visit
Hey,
your
I'm a
local
Virgo. Come on. That's
proctologist.
like our main priority.
It's
Spread 'em. Okay, this is getting...
man. We're already going off the rails.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And no alcohol either.
Yeah, for real. For once.
For once.
No, I don't know. I didn't like the original that much. I do like the remake a little bit better.
You would.
I think the remake actually did its job, and I am very curious to see the extended cut to it. So
Yeah, the ending. They weren't they gonna release?
They released the ending online, and I actually like that ending better.
I haven't seen it.
They released that ending.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit, man! I think that it would have elevated that movie.
You think so?
Yeah, I think everyone would have walked away from that theater like, oh shit. That was bleak as fuck. That was good.
Yeah.
Because the whole movie was just like, bleak and
Very bleak.
And the ending, having that ending,
Yeah.
it would have just made it even better. That was the original ending that they showed before they recut it. So,
Yeah.
Curious to see how that ends out, because now it's going to be in a 2-disc with the original. So they're selling the original with the remake.
Did they say they're gonna do like a sequel at all?
Not that I've seen.
No.
I haven't seen anything said. Pet Sematary 2. I don't think it did well enough to justify a sequel.
Yeah, I don't think it did either. Wait, that was what month did that come out?
April.
April. Okay.
But that movie had to contend with like Endgame and a few other big heavy hitters. So, yeah, that movie was destined to fail going up in April. So yeah, but it was decent. Smooth takes. His take on it was pretty fucking hilarious. We will get more smooth takes soon. Just when he gets to see the movies that we're gonna be doing. So
yeah.
Other than that, man, I like the remake. I thought the remake's better than the original.
Wow, better than the original? Interesting.
I think I even said that in our show.
Did you? I don't remember.
I think I said that in our show.
Because when you talk, I just black you out half the time.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was better than the original. I didn't hate it. Like, I think there were elements I liked. I thought the dad was really good, and you see his reaction to a lot of things I thought were on point. The daughter kind of annoyed me.
The daughter annoyed you in the original one. Get the fuck out
I know,
of here.
I know.
Regular 5-year-old. Out of here, man.
But I don't know. Like I said, my whole thing was the whole Zelda and Victor thing, and I just think they didn't have their opportunity in this one.
No, I mean, why would you even like bring those up if you're not going to even use them? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
they were
Church
worthless
was
in
in
it.
the fucking movie more than either of those characters.
He died.
Yeah.
Isn't that sad?
Natural causes.
Yeah. He was to me, Church was the star of the show in the remake. He was my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
How old was he?
He was old. He was like,
Was he really?
yeah, he was old. His owners put a post up on Twitter.
Yeah.
Said that he was, natural causes. It was just his time.
So sad. He was so cute. He looks like my cat.
And with the little bow tie at the premiere.
Aww.
I know. But way to bring down the mood.
I know, right? Wah, wah.
Pepper, come over here.
Pepper is our church.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be our mascot soon.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the
Sweet.
right?
Lisa should be our
Lisa's
mascot.
the mascot.
She's the
one
bitch-faced
more
cat.
likely to murder us in our sleep, get on our chest. What is
On
that?
our sleep during, like, when we're awake.
Yeah, really. She's just gonna come around the corner right now and slit my throat.
I know, right?
She's gonna get on.
She's
your-
like,
she's gonna crawl on your chest and inhale your soul.
yeah, like Stephen King.
Like,
That's what I was gonna say.
Was
What's
that Cat's Eye?
Cat? Yeah.
With Drew Barrymore?
was it? I don't know.
I think so.
Was it? I don't remember. I remember reading about that on the internets.
The internets, the
Internet.
interwebs.
They're saying like don't ever, when you're asleep, don't ever let a cat sleep on your chest because they're gonna inhale your soul.
They'll take your
whatever.
soul.
I was like, that's not true. But then I read another article. It's like, well, if cats lie in your chest, that means they love you. I mean,
I think it depends on the cat, to be honest.
Yeah, really. I wouldn't want to have Lisa on my chest.
No. No.
Because I know for a fact I'm going to wake up and then half my face is going to be gone.
Yeah.
She's going to be gnawing at that shit.
Yep.
But yeah, that's it. I mean, I don't know. It's our famous. This is another big argument that we always have is remakes.
Yeah, I know.
I feel like they're a necessary evil. You fucking hate them.
Well,
you
not
don't
all
hate
of them.
But you.
I'm more, okay, let me just explain. I'm more annoyed because I would like more original content to be out there, in the horror community, because I do like originality horror films instead of just remakes. Remakes is just a cash thing. They just want their cash.
Some ones are. Yes, I agree. I agree with you with
Blumhouse.
certain movies. wouldn't go that far, but yeah. Yeah, I do agree with you that some remakes are terrible, and some of them are cash grabs. Like
Some are good, some are just, but it's this year in particular, the last 2 years we've had, there's just been an overflowing amount of remakes.
yeah.
And it's like, why? Show more original content.
But here's the thing too, and the thing that I always go back to, it's like people love a brand. They love
I know.
and they think that a brand that they can trust, and so. You show people something that's familiar to them. They would rather go see something that's familiar to them than rather see something original. And that's kind of the truth, too, because if you really think about it, how often are you on Netflix or Hulu or Prime or any streaming service that you're on and you see a new movie, you're like, oh, I want to see this. But you don't push play. You put something on that's familiar that you watch for fucking 1,000 times.
Bob's Burgers.
Yeah, exactly. So
I do both. I am guilty of sometimes because if it's something I'm really excited for, like Knife and Heart, I fucking loved on Shudder.
Oh,
I fucking loved that.
That's the movie we had to cover.
Yeah, that's original, but it felt so familiar. It felt like a
It was
70s
a
Italian
giallo
horror film. Yeah.
Oh, the giallo film. For
So
sure.
it had that familiarity
I do
about
wanna
it.
Talk about that.
I do too. But I fucking love that movie. That was great.
I really did like that movie too.
Yeah.
That was really good.
That was just up my alley, literally.
When that movie came out, around the time we did the Would You Rather episode.
Yeah.
So we
didn't really talk about it.
We couldn't really fit it in there because we were trying to get the Would You Rather episode out and done. But that's definitely a movie that we're going to be covering.
Did she see it?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Wait, I think she saw it. I think Miss Melissa saw it, right? Knife and Heart.
Knife and Heart, the French gay horror film.
Oh, the gay horror star?
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
That was good. I felt like I wanted to watch it again, though. To get the most
I didn't
out
get
of
the
it.
ending, but I will have to talk about that.
Yeah,
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, that was kind of my big issue with that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, but see, originality, it's like people want originality, yet they don't show up to theaters when it counts.
And I'm wondering too, like
a big fucking a big point or a big fact, Midsummer.
Yeah.
An original fucking movie. That's a good movie. For
a
sure.
lot of people are showing up to that.
But it's not making the money where it should be making. You know what I mean? And I don't agree with it opening against Spider-Man. Although that I will give A24. I mean, that was some balls and some faith they had in Aster.
Yeah.
For doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They should have actually opened it during midsummer time. When it is midsummer, they should have opened it.
Yeah, but you would have to contend with. Actually, no, because
what came out in June, early June.
Men in Black and Dark Phoenix. So
Men in Black kind of flopped, didn't it?
So honestly, yeah, maybe to your point, it might have done better.
Yeah,
but it's actually doing well now.
It is, yeah.
It's actually really doing very well, and I think it's actually overperforming from their original analysis.
Well, that's good.
But people want originality. People need to show up to originality.
I agree with you.
You know
I agree.
I mean? You need to show up when it counts.
Yeah.
That's what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can rent it on Prime or whatever,
yeah.
or Netflix or whatever. But what really matters is that you being there opening weekend for those people.
And
that's what matters.
It's really hard too because a lot of original films that are coming out, I saw the trailer for way last year, and they're not out yet. They're doing festival runs. Open 24 Hours is a film I really want to watch. The gas station one.
That looks good.
And what's it called? Oh my god! See, this is what happens. It's been forever since I saw the trailer. Boogeyman Pop.
Oh wait, I thought they got a distribution deal already.
They were supposed to do one with Blumhouse last summer.
Huh.
I've been waiting for that because that looks really freaking cool.
I don't know. I heard festival runs that didn't do very well.
It didn't do well?
I heard a lot of negative things coming out of some festivals.
Well,
I'll pull up the article for you because
okay.
I know reading about it toward the end of fall, early winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't doing well, and they might have to recut it.
You think so?
Yeah. I'll pull it up and show you because I do remember reading it on I think it was IndieWire or something like that.
Okay.
So I'll show it to you.
It just looks trippy though, but that's what I'm saying. For films like that, I feel like you see the trailer or you hear you go to bloodydisgusting.com and you find an article about it, which they have access to watch, right? But it's for the rest of us that don't have access to it, it's like years and years go by.
But they
and-
can send a screen link, and so you know what we should
I know.
do? We should start putting ourselves over like a journalist so we could get these screens.
Right? Or do like a festival or something. Yeah,
we
like
should start doing that. Get make up press passes.
right. Oh my
Say,
god.
oh yeah, we're with the Bum of the Night podcast. So,
Flash.
Yeah.
so here we go. Give us our screen links now.
Give us our screen. I want more screen links.
We want free drinks.
Free drinks. No.
That was one thing that I wanted to put on here.
I was gonna ask you about that.
That was one that I was gonna put on here, but I didn't put on here.
Greasy Strangler.
Greasy Strangler and the Littlest Strike.
Well, we
our
could-
most insane double feature to date.
What we could do is do like a male nudity episode and have Greasy Strangler be a part of that. Extra greasy. I just saw that
I was
guy.
gonna make a joke, but I don't know if I should make it.
What?
It's the only time we'll ever see you eat a sausage pizza.
You're probably right.
God.
I just saw that actor in something recently. Under the Silver Lake.
Oh, he was in there?
He was in there for a little bit, for like a second, yeah,
Oh,
which was
wow.
a disappointment.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't.
Well, I mean,
think
if you
things
listen to
about
our-
Silver Lake.
If you listen to our Ed Dougherty episode,
He was right.
disappointed too. He was like, "This movie's garbage."
It was like-
not what he said, but paraphrasing. He was like, "Yeah, that's pretty bad."
It just like the thing about it is it was shot beautifully. The colors were really pretty. The cinematography was amazing. It was literally 5 different genres trying to be one thing, and it just kind of like went all over the place. I think if he stuck with like one genre, it would have been a lot better.
Do you not know what kind of movie you wanted to make?
I mean, it was like a noir mixed with comedy, mixed with like cults, mixed with death, mixed with Da Vinci Code stuff. So it's like all of these into one.
You got 2 hours to kill.
I mean, it was, yeah, like there were things I liked about
no,
it.
West, I'm asking, do you have 2 hours to kill?
Yeah,
'Cause
that's another.
It's a 2.5 hour movie.
It's a long. It was too long. Yeah,
And
like
there's an extended cut on Prime too. It's like
there's a difference though with time. Like if something's long, like Midsummer, I wasn't bored. I didn't feel the time. Like there's a way to do it, but yeah.
Okay. I don't know how to segue into that.
We're just bad at segues today.
It's a hot day too.
Yeah, I know.
It's from originality, and then going back to the point of like we want originality
Yeah.
to our love of nostalgia.
Ah, that's a good point. Good segue.
You know, yeah, I'm working on that, so that's good.
Yeah.
Yay me, yes. You know, Stranger Things has this thing where it's all nostalgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I know on our previous episode on Midsummer, you talked about it and said it was like product placement.
Yeah.
And I kind of make the point, it's like, if you think about it at that time, it kind of works because that's kind of nostalgia at the time because those were really big at the time, so you couldn't go anywhere with any of that. The question we always have, is Stranger Things good because it's a good show, or is it good because it's nostalgic?
Right.
You know, and that's kind of the point that we try to make here. Like, is it good or is it just nostalgic that we want to live for the 80s or yearn for it or
Yeah.
whatever? You know, I guarantee if the Stranger Things was made in the 90s, I'd be all over it.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because that's your
Because
generation.
That's my generation, and I can relate more to it because
Yeah.
I was raised in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We both were raised in the 90s.
We both
you know what I
were,
mean?
yeah.
And so it's like, I was born in the 80s, so I don't
But
remember
that's
the
like
80s
you were
too
what,
much.
85?
Yeah.
I'm 87, so like we don't really, we're little diapers, you know, we don't
Yeah.
remember it. But I wanted to ask you this: why do you think so many nostalgia shows are in the 80s? Like
It's
the
just popular.
the new American Horror is going to be in the 80s. It's like they kind
I
of
think
missed
it's
their
just a
boat.
trend.
But I mean, it's been going, like, I feel like they missed their chance. I mean, I still want to watch
Summer of
it.
84.
Yeah. Like, there's just so much.
I
Like, there's
kinda-
nothing 90s.
I have.
People trying to capitalize on a trend. I just think it's a trend.
Capitalism.
I thought the only not to get off topic, but this kind of relates to our discussion. It's like the movie Dope. So
Yeah,
that's
I
a
haven't
modern
seen that.
movie,
Uh-huh.
but it's heavily on 90s nostalgic,
Mm.
and the kids
That was a
are
good movie.
yeah, it was a good movie, and the kids dress like they were from the 90s.
Oh, really?
They listen to 90s music.
Nice.
Everything about the kids
Mhm.
was all, every 90s, from their posters to their
Their hair.
haircuts to everything. You know what I mean? and everyone around him was all martyred. You know
Oh
what I mean?
wow, that's kind of cool though. Like
And-
they mixed it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
so and one of the reasons is like it's a good movie because it didn't try to harp on the 90s. It was just trying to show, look, these kids appreciate this culture from back in the day. This
Yeah.
is what, you know, they didn't get to live in it. You know, they
Mhm.
were born in it, but they didn't get to live the 90s like
Right.
the rest of us did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what they were showing. And I kind of feel that when you have people that weren't raised in the 80s,
Mhm.
they have an idea of what the 80s are.
Mm.
So when you have people that are like 5-6 years old and then they grow up to be screenwriters and they're writing about the 80s,
Yeah.
it doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
It's like this guy that wrote this movie, you know, he was raised in the 90s,
Mhm.
but the kids, they were born in the 90s, and so they have an idea of what the 90s were.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
kind of like that. But when people try to mimic the 80s
Mhm.
and they don't know a fucking thing about it, that's where it kind of clashes, and that's where all the product placement, that's where it's all, what's the word I'm looking for? Surface level. You know
It
what I
feels
mean?
artificial.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Which I think anytime anyone didn't live in a certain time period and then if they don't do their homework,
Yeah.
I don't think it matters. 80s, 90s, 70s. For me, it's the 70s. I was alive in the 70s and I was alive in the 80s. And when, like, if Stranger Things was based in the 70s, I might be more attracted to it.
Because you didn't
Just
like
'cause
the 80s.
I did not like the 80s. When I was in the 80s, I was like, the
Like, what the fuck is with this hair?
the hairstyle, the music.
I love the music. You
I
don't
love
you
the
dare
mu-
talk
I
bad
love the
about
music,
all
too.
notes.
The thing is,
Yeah.
the music, a lot of the music that you loved was not what was really popular. at the
That's how I
time.
feel the new
It
season was.
It was more like I had to tune in.
Like hair bands.
Yeah, which I liked some of the. I mean, I liked different styles of music. I was kind of into punk rock a lot, but so a lot of the music that now is pop, like. You know, I was listening to the Violent Femmes back then, but there's no way you would hear that on the radio. Never, 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 never. It was not played on the radio. Nobody had ever heard of it.
Yeah.
And now it's on the radio all the time. So now, you know, so...
You kind of reached that niche group now where, like, it's, you know, those kind of groups are not niche anymore, but now they kind of crossed over after, 3 decades later?
I know,
Yeah.
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now it's like the trend.
Which I don't hate on.
No,
I'm like,
I'm
they
just pointing
finally
that out,
like
though.
some good music.
Yeah. And a lot of bands today are faux 80s. They're trying to mimic that
Yes.
80s sound. Like, they're trying to
Yeah.
mimic New Order,
Yeah.
you know, Joy Division, The Cure, like, and I love them.
Like you didn't hear The Cure on the... I had to put on the college station in
Yeah.
order to hear most of them.
That's crazy.
And the concerts I went to...
Now you hear it all the
wasn't-
time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You know, like The Cult,
Mhm.
I went and saw them when I was a teenager, and now you hear, like, Firewoman on the radio and stuff. On the oldies channel.
Yeah.
And nobody knew who they were when I went. I mean, no one, they weren't popular.
Yeah. It was like Wang Chung or
In fact,
like...
the lead singer walked right past us in line.
Ah.
That's funny.
When we were waiting in line to go into the venue, he just walked right past us all. Okay. That's how unknown,
Yeah. Is that Billy Duffy? Is that the lead singer? Billy Duffy? Wasn't he the one that introduced Johnny Marr to Morrissey? And that's how the Smiths formed? Because the guy in the Cult, Billy Duffy, he was with Morrissey before, like, the Smiths. And then he introduced Johnny Marr. If that's the same guy, I'm pretty sure. Billy
I
Duffy.
think I did read about that. Yeah.
Oh.
But
But
yeah,
yeah.
we're gonna have to research that.
You know, so, I don't know, like Miss Boy says, like, with anything, you gotta do your research. You gotta do your due diligence.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you
with
don't do
that.
your homework and actually maybe talk to people,
That
maybe
were-
part
that
of your
live in it,
homework
Yeah.
is talking, because I watch things that, like how with the 80s trends and stuff that, are talking about the 80s, and I'm like, kind of wasn't like that. I don't remember it being like this.
So, if this show, Stranger Things, took place in the 90s, I'd probably be more inclined to watch it.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's like 80, 85, and 86. I think it's 86 now in Stranger
The new season was summer of 85.
85.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm just kind of over the 80s.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean, I watched Snowfall, and that's like that's an 80s show. Takes place in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
but the 80s in that is more relatable because I feel like that's how it really was in the 80s back in LA.
Yeah.
It feels real and authentic, but because the person that actually created the show lived through the 80s.
Yeah, so they knew
John
how it was.
Singleton, so
Yeah.
R.I.P. And so
Wait, did he die?
yeah, he died
Well, recently, right?
3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh.
And so he was behind the show,
Mm-hmm.
and so everything was authentic, and so that was how he saw L.A. in the 80s.
Yeah.
And that's why that show looks so authentic.
Yeah.
As far as other 80s shows that try to replicate that, that's why it's all artificial. It's not deeper than that. Other than a couple of pop cliches or whatever, you know what I mean?
I think too that like some shows are trying to market just the decade itself. Like there's another show that just came out called Chernobyl. Chernobyl did happen in the 80s, so the 80s isn't like a theme. It just shows like what happened, but it does have the hair and the outfits. But I feel like it's not trying to stand out too much. It's more of like what actually happened with Chernobyl.
Yeah.
You know, and they did a really good job on that. So sad and depressing, but yeah, I'm kind of over the 80s now too. Like I don't know, let's do 2002 or like let's do something else. I don't know, like because I love the 80s, but I just feel like
2018.
I know, right?
1994.
Let's do 90s. Yeah, well, what was that mid 90s movie?
Oh yeah, mid 90s.
Mid 90s. That's
Yeah,
called right. Mid
mid-90s,
90s.
Oh, in 90s?
I actually thought you meant a mid 90s movie.
The Jonah Hill one, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
mid
I
90s.
actually thought you meant a movie from the mid 90s. Like, what movie was that? There's plenty of those. What are you talking about?
That was a good movie.
It was
Yeah.
a good movie, but for me, that's not how I remember the 90s, and that's not how...
Because you weren't a skater.
It's not even that. It's like, I don't know, again, like Stranger Things, how it's all artificial. Just because you can have the music,
Yeah.
it doesn't mean that you have the speech down, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they talk way too modern, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Back then they said
They
dude.
try to use 90s
so?
slang, but it just... Some of them just didn't work with the characters for some reason. I don't know why. They
I thought the kid was really
but
good
he
though.
was in the 90s. He was from the 90s.
I know, but I'm talking about the characters. The
Yeah, but he wrote it.
I know, but I'm
Wasn't
talking
Jonas
about
Hill,
that's like
Didn't he have a... Wouldn't you expect him to have more of a grasp of what...
Is it just the actors then that like you weren't buying
that's
it?
what I was just trying to say. It's like the actors themselves. Some of them just didn't.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like he tried to make fuck shit into Casper, but
Yeah.
but a little less Casper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then there's that show Everything Sucks that got canceled. It was for one season on Netflix and it literally takes place in the 90s. Did you ever get to watch that?
I didn't get to watch that. But with that being said, you know, Elisa and I go down memory road, and we have a discussion about nostalgia, even though we just had one.
Yeah.
This is her pick, so.
Okay.
But yeah, this is us going on nostalgia and wondering what happened. What happened to horror for kids? Here we go. I think it's more focused on young adults though, more than anything.
It's more on teens.
Because if you talk about like, if you look at like CW and TBS and all that stuff, like they are making like vampire shows, like
but it's for like 16-year-olds.
Yeah,
plus.
you know. So I mean, there is something for like young adults. But
Yeah.
as far as like you know.
Like,
or,
kids, like 10 years old.
I don't know. I think the last one would have been, and it's off the air now, is The Grim Adventures of Bill and Mandy.
Yeah, that and like maybe Stranger Things, you know, because they were like, what, 11 years old?
Yeah, but see, that gears toward young adults too.
True.
I don't think parents will let their kids watch Stranger Things. Would
I
you
know-
let
I
your
know.
kids watch Stranger Things?
All I know is every time I go to see a movie and it's rated R, there's a bunch of little kids there.
Does that bug you as a parent?
I try not to be judgmental in that way, but it bugs me as a moviegoer when I'm going to a movie as an adult, wanting to see an adult movie, and there's, you know, a kid that's crying or runs through the aisle, or that bugs me It also bugs me when people talk during the movies.
Yeah.
Side note.
But
No,
Shut
we
the
definitely
fuck
had
up in the
we
theater.
definitely
We
had
talked about that.
on Pet Cemetery review, and
Yeah.
that was ridiculous.
But I feel like I know people that let their kids watch Stranger Things. I feel like that's kind of a good balance because there's no sex, there's not really nudity, there's not a
But it's
whole
all-
lot of violence. Like it's a good balance. I feel
It's all like, what's the word I'm looking for? Implied, though.
Yeah, but it's-
insinuated rather, not implied. It's insinuated.
I think that's a safe show to watch with your kids. Actually, like if your kid's like 10 years old and your parent, your parent loves like Winona Ryder, you get that. Like again, it's a nostalgia. It takes place in the 80s. That's very big right now. So I feel like that's like it's a good breaker for kids
Yeah, I
and
don't think
parents
that
to
shows
watch.
that compared to some other things.
Yeah, like if you turn on like CW and you put on like
The Vampire Diaries.
yeah, like that's like boobs and like I mean they don't show boobs, but they show like lingerie and like Stranger Things doesn't show that. It's like they're literally like 11 or 12 years old the first
It's
season.
definitely from the kid point of view.
Yeah, it's from the kid's point of view.
Definitely gonna be
so-
interesting how the next season plays out since they're all teenagers
since they're getting
now.
older. Yeah,
So
I'm
that's
curious.
definitely going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, there was a plethora of horror themed kid shows.
Yeah.
And even adult movies were turned into cartoons.
So many.
Adult movies were turned into action figures. You know what I mean? That's crazy. Like, do you remember like kids having the Freddy Krueger doll, like a Freddy Krueger pillow?
Yeah,
That's
or like a
fucking insane.
Jason mask, like they even would dress up like them for Halloween. Like little kids would be little killers for Halloween.
And I remember when I was growing up, there was like, I remember there was always like this, like Fox would always have this Halloween special, and there was always like the Munsters.
Yeah.
And the Munsters, they would always show the same episode, but it was like, oh, this is cool, And to me, that was like, oh, that's pretty awesome,
Yeah.
I grew up in an era where you had the Munsters and Elvira. They're all at their peak, at the height of the popularity. So I had like, that. But to me, I never had the chance to go into like, friendly kid trauma or
really?
or cartoons because the first thing I ever saw was Nightmare on Elm Street.
Was this before you actually watched
This was
horror
before,
kid shows?
Yeah, this was way before.
Oh, wow.
I watched Elm Street, Candyman, The Unnameable, and Hellbound all before I even watched The Witches, which is a pretty gnarly movie for a kid too, by the way. And before I even knew about the horror themed cartoons, it's like, dude,
That's crazy. That must have like affected you a lot more than
it did because I even
easing
spoke,
into it.
I even spoke about it too when I talk about Hellbound, how that movie fucked me up and how like thinking being a bad person would like maybe meet these Cenobites,
Yeah.
And so after a while,
Cenobites.
it's just like, man, I don't know. So and at the time I was going to church with my nana, and so all these things are in my head, and so it's like really fucking me up as a kid, and it's just like I didn't even get a chance to see like those horror themed cartoons till like much later, like when I was like probably like 8 or 9 or so. Saw Tales from the Crypt Keeper, Beetlejuice, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. But to me, that was just like those were cool. Don't get me wrong; they were really good cartoons. But to me, it was like I wanted that dangerous thing. I wanted something real. It was just like, but that was just me though growing up because my parents were just not absentee, but they just weren't around as much.
Yeah.
Growing up.
So did those the kid horror shows, did those scare you at all when you were a little kid? Or you're just kind of like, oh, this is cool?
I didn't scare me. It was just like, oh, this is pretty gnarly. Like, there's a different side to this. You know what I mean? Like, this could be funny. This could be like, comedy.
Yeah.
Like, if done right, you know? And then also watching the Munsters, too. Like, the old episodes. At Nick at Night, they used to run the Munsters.
Yeah.
And then when they brought them back for, like, the 90s version.
Yeah.
For Fox. And I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, monsters can be funny. And for like Halloween, I dressed up as the uncle.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the vampire, the Dracula.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Yeah. Yeah, they would show that in like the Addams Family show as well. But that's what I like. The question I want to ask today is like, what happened? How did we have all these like amazing, kid or shows for kids, and today it's non-existent really? Like, what happened for today's generation? That's like what I really want to know.
I think two things. I think one, parents. I think parents got more involved in what their kids were watching, especially when you had the TV rating kicking in around the time that we were growing up, and then parents were starting to pay attention a little bit more to what was going on the TV. Like, why is this show TV Y7?
Yeah.
Like, why is that? Why is this TV, Y7A? Like, what does that mean? And then once parents started like looking into that, it's like, oh, this is like animated violence or something like that. It's like, and then they started getting more involved in what their kids were watching. I think they had more control, and so when they had more control, they weren't able to get that viewership.
So do you think they also, too, because of the technology today, like parents can set up like blocking a show or blocking a network?
Yeah.
In like apps or something?
Yeah, I definitely think so. And then the second thing is that I think once smartphones were invented and social media, it's like, well, why the fuck do I need to watch like a horror themed cartoon show? I could watch someone actually walk in front of a street and actually get hit.
That's what I think too. I really think social media played a huge
that's
part.
More what it is. I don't think the parents are more savvy, like strict. I think it's less of an interest of the kids because they're exposed to more.
Yeah.
And allowed to see more. That's why I made the comment about going to the movies and kids being watching a rated R horror movie. I mean, they're getting to see the whole thing. They don't need it like watered down for a kid version because they're already seeing it.
It's sad too because I went for a walk last night and I really thought about it. It's like kids today are subjected to a lot more crazy shit. Like if you look at like all the school shootings that are going on, or like war and like a lot of violence and people wanting likes on Instagram or social media that are violent. It's kind of like, does that have a huge factor in this? But at the same time, it's like, I feel like innocence today is kind of lost. Like, depending on where you go or like what environment you're in, I feel like that innocent like kid, just playing outside. Like girls today are like following the Kardashians and wearing like pounds and pounds of makeup, and like they're trying to be adults. Like 8-year-olds are trying to be like 16, 17, or 18. So I feel like a lot of that innocence is just kind of like fading away, and it's makes me sad because like if I had a kid today, I don't know, like I would try to subject them to everything I liked growing up and like make it fun, but I just feel like kids today are very serious. I don't know.
When I was growing up, I grew up with those same kind of kids, but when I grew up, it was just like different because a lot of our parents weren't around, and so we were either doing stuff we weren't supposed to be doing.
You have access to
and
exposure. I don't know if it's necessarily that there's more violence in the world. I
think they're just subjected to it more.
I think that there's more exposure because of social media and
news,
the internet, and you didn't. When I was growing up, there was 2 channels on the TV, and we still would see the news and everything at a certain time, but.
That was it. Like you weren't on your phone.
Like you said, they have their phone and, they can go on there and watch whatever.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like when I was growing up, a lot of us weren't innocent. We lost our innocence long before because when we were exposed to, like a lot of my friends, we were exposed to drugs and gangs and violence at a very early age.
Yeah.
And the majority of our time, it's the parents are absent and they're working. They're trying to keep a roof over our heads.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, it's like, we go through our parents' tape collection and we watch things, we're not supposed to be watching, like, oh, there's a Skinamax movie here. Let's watch this. Or
do they even have that anymore? Movie. Do they have Skinamax still?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do.
Do they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. But the thing is, it's like, it's those kind of things where, like, your innocence could be lost at a very young age. It doesn't even matter what era you're in, actually.
See, the thing is, though, is that I don't think the innocence is lost because when I was little, it wasn't Skinamax, it was the Hustler magazines that I found and things like that. But to some degree, the innocence wasn't lost because there was that feeling that you were doing something you weren't supposed to, and what you were doing was wrong and kind of bad, and you had to be sneaky. And so there was a part of innocence that was preserved because of that psychology. So the access today of just like, oh, whatever. Oh, yeah, let's go see a rated R, really violent, you know, movie that's not really catered, you know, or the video games are really violent. So the innocence is lost because the acceptance of it being okay and not being wrong. You're not having to be sneaky and you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
So that's, to me, that's what I think is.
I don't know. I just like when I see kids today, they're like on their cell phones and they're trying to be older. They're not like, this is just me like personally going out there and seeing like everyone's just kind of like not trying to enjoy their youths. I don't know. I think it's a very different generation and it's like they're kind of like zombies. Like they're just like
zombie apocalypse Israel.
You know? I don't know. It makes me sad. It really does. And
you know, when I was growing up, my mom made a deal with me. So I read somewhere when I was a kid and said Freddy's Dead and was coming and it's gonna be in 3D. My mom said, you know what? If you can get like, because back then if you got like S's, like in elementary, that was like really good.
Satisfactory.
Yeah, you got S's, like you got all S's.
You are just okay.
Yeah, you got all S's, you're good. Because I was a D and an F student. I never got any S's. I didn't get no A's, B's, no nothing. So she said, if you can get at least a couple of S's, we'll go see Freddy's Dead opening night. And I did. I got a lot of S's, and I was like, okay. So I showed her like, look, I didn't fucking fake it. I didn't do anything. I didn't forge it. So here.
Yeah.
And she looked at it and was like, okay, we're going. And we went. She took me to go see Freddy's Dead.
Wait, that was like mid-90s, right?
That was 94, 93.
How old were you?
I was about 6.
Wow.
And so she took me to go see that. And then the year before, she took me to go see The Dream Child in Salinas.
Oh my God.
And so to me, it was like, again, like I wasn't really exposed to that whole, you know, kinder trauma.
Yeah.
I was exposed to that, to the hardcore stuff.
Yeah.
To like real horrors. And yeah, I had nightmares and yeah, I was afraid, but I still wanted more. I went out and ventured. After a while, it kind of faded away because she thought it was a phase. Because I would draw like Freddy Krueger and Jason in like my classes and stuff. And my teachers would be concerned and say, why is he drawing this? This is not good. It's like, my mom's like, it's art. It's fine. It's not, he's not doing anything wrong. You know, he's just drawing what he sees. And that's basically what you told him to do. And that's what I did. So after a while, you know, I faded off like horror, and then I got into like action and comedies and whatever, and then I started watching cartoons, and then I started seeing all this stuff again. I was like, oh man, I miss this stuff.
Yeah, it's like a trip down,
you know. And so I went through my stepdad's video collection, and but lo and behold, he has the Dream Master. What do you think I did?
Yeah.
You know, so to me, it's just like, you know, I do miss like those horror themed TV shows, but I can't speak to them a whole lot because I was exposed to Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees and The Crow and all that stuff at a very early age.
Yeah.
You know, they showed me those movies first before they showed me anything else.
I was exposed to both as well. Like I had cable in my room, so I would like turn the TV on and I would watch stuff. And my mom was really cool. Like my dad was anti all of this. Like every time there was something, even till this day, like if I go visit them and like there's a horror movie on, turn that shit off. Like he's still like that. But my mom would take me, like she took me to see Scream when I was 8. She took me to see I Know What You Did Last Summer. She like let me ditch school to go with her and watch I Know What You Did Last Summer too. So she was like cool. She would take me to these things. She would rent Candyman.
Man, how bad did you regret that decision?
I liked it. I don't know. I liked it. But I was young. I was like 9 or 10. But, you know, she would rent movies and let me watch them. So I was exposed to both as well. Like I would see the dark, violent stuff. But then I also love the kiddie stuff. Like, man, as soon as Goosebumps, you heard that Goosebumps theme song come on, like after school or, you know, like watch Are You Afraid of the Dark? Like I loved both. I loved the violent stuff, and then I also like the fun, like scary stuff, like for kids. So we were lucky. I feel like our generation was very lucky to have what we had to watch.
Because if you watch like I woke up one morning on Saturday, and try to go watch Saturday morning cartoons, oh my god, it is shit.
Like what cartoons?
It's bad. It is really bad.
Like today's cartoons?
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. Like,
I don't even know what people watch
They
now.
have like a 2-hour block, and then after like 8 o'clock, it's all talk shows. It's like, fuck you guys.
We used to have really, like, they would show like Bugs Bunny, and then they would show like really cool, I don't know, like I was a big Nickelodeon person, so like,
Oh man, that was a long-winded conversation.
yeah.
Fuck.
10 days later.
And I wasn't even talking about the one we just listened to.
Burn.
Boom. That's just how we have to do things here. We have to keep ourselves on our toes. But yeah, no, as far as that, do you still feel that same way about, nostalgia and stuff?
I do. I mean, it's sad because at this age now, I'm even going back still to like the old school shows or like reading old school R.L. Stine. So I don't know. I don't know. I like that we got like an in-depth conversation about, do we think there's like that part of the world where like politics and real world violence is so heavy that they don't want to make scary shows for kids because kids live in a scary world? Or, I mean, that's a whole other episode in itself, but I do still feel like that applies.
No, I feel it does apply, especially when you have like, you brought it up in the, like earlier on the clip, like Stranger Things, where it's like kid friendly kind of, it's not heavy on the violence.
Yeah.
But it's kind of kid friendly. It's like Nancy Drew,
right?
Stuff like that.
Which they are bringing. Did you know that? There's going to be a new Nancy Drew on CW in October. I want to say October, September, fall.
Oh, great, on CW.
On CW,
which means she's gonna deal with a bunch of YA problems.
Well, I don't know. I'm interested because Riverdale was such a success, so they're trying to bring like darker shows to CW. Lost Boys, I don't think is gonna happen. Did you hear what happened?
Yeah, they cut that pilot.
They're reshooting it. Yeah, they're recasting too.
Yeah, they recasted that whole pilot. Holy shit. That's what happens, man. They should cast me as David.
Oh my god.
I'd be fucking perfect as David.
No,
man.
David would be
stop shitting on my
Dacre.
brain.
Dacre from Stranger Things would be a fucking perfect David.
Fine, then I will be one of the Frog Brothers then. The
Oh
one
my
that doesn't
god.
talk.
Well, no, they're doing the Frog Sisters.
Well, I could be transgender then.
That's the way it's going, so we'll see.
That's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say that.
I know. Well, let's just cut that there.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Done. Conversation. Okay.
Done.
But no, I think nostalgia is just one of those things where we want to look back at simpler times. And I feel that's one of the things, too, is that why we look back at some of these older shows and older episodes that, we watched as kids growing up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it kind of brings us back to when life was a little bit simpler.
Yeah. We had less responsibility.
Less responsibility. The only thing we had to do was finish our homework and
go to school.
And go to sleep. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
That was it. Man, I wish I was young again.
Right?
Some simple Rick time.
And, I just feel like that's the appeal of watching those kind of shows.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, watching Boomerang and watching Huckleberry Hound kind of brings me back to a simpler time when I just played Nintendo and watched Huckleberry Hound. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
that's it. That's all you had to do. And then you had snacks.
Yeah, and so that's one of the things too. And I feel like also that I'm kind of like I'm starting to collect things, and I'm starting to really collect because they're starting to reprint the Ninja Turtles.
I saw that.
And I don't know if you see that, but on our Instagram, I follow a bunch of Ninja Turtle pages.
Yeah, so all I see on there is like Ninja Turtles. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
And so I'm trying to, and they release some of the old school figurines, and then they redid the actual old 1980s, 1989 toys.
Oh my god!
NECA.
Wow!
Holy shit, man! And I've been on the hunt for those, and I've been trying to get those, and I'm gonna set up my room as just like one big turtle factory.
Oh my god, it's gonna be like a border of just like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
your little fort.
For all different turtles.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh my god.
But watching those and just like even having the toys just brings me back to, that headspace. You know what I mean? It was like, oh man, this was so much fun back in the day.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I think that's our last clip of today.
Okay.
I think, but we have a very special surprise.
Today.
We have a special we actually have a clip. I actually found a clip from an unaired episode. One of our first episodes.
Oh.
Our very first episode. And controversial. What's today? What's today?
Today is Tuesday?
Controversial Tuesday. There
Controversial Tuesday.
we go. Controversial Tuesday. With a controversial opinion. We're going to end this show with a very controversial opinion.
Is it though?
From none other than Elisa Ginger
Me.
Snaps.
Me.
Formerly known as the Crypt Keeper's Mistress. But it's funny.
Howl. That's my new thing, right?
Yeah, you're going to start howling. We're going to get you some like wolf patches too. And glue them on your face.
I don't know about that.
Random. Unlike you need to.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, just give me some of yours.
I'm going to be Bigfoot.
Oh my god.
You could probably sell that. At
Duh Bigfoot. Duh Bigfoot. Duh Big Feet. He's speechless. He's speechless.
That's pretty fucking funny.
It was so good. He's speechless. Yeah.
supposed to say, you know what that means.
I wasn't even going to say that. I wasn't even going to say it. I was going to say something else, but I wasn't going to say that. But no, man. You know, I had a lot of fun. Cheers.
Cheers. Water.
Cheers.
Cheers to another year.
Yes.
And many more. Where are my roses and my chocolates?
You didn't give me anything. The fuck?
I got you me.
So sexist.
You didn't give me you didn't buy my lunch.
My presents.
Oh my god.
That's
See,
good enough.
This is how one way this is. It's all one. It's all about her. It's never about me.
Whatever, the Bigfoot.
But yeah, you know, cheers. Here's to another 52 episodes.
Yep.
I look forward to working with you people a lot more.
And many more.
And we have many more surprises. This is actually evolved into more than a podcast. It's evolved into a friendship, into a company. So I am very happy at where this is going.
Me too.
And I look forward to working with you guys, and I will see you on the other side.
Wow.
So
On the other
deep.
side, yeah.
Thanks for ruining the moment.
I
Thanks. But, you know, in all seriousness, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank
I
you.
couldn't do this without you guys.
I know.
God damn it. Okay.
I'm just kidding.
Just say your stupid slogan so we can get out of here.
7
Stay-
planets in Aries versus 7 planets in Virgo.
Stay
With 7
scary.
planets in Scorpio.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 Ow, ow, ow.
Somehow Moby's like tied with it's called Intruder. Have you seen this?
No, I have
It
not
is
seen
so
this.
fucking bad. The acting is horrible. It's not even scary, and it had so much freaking hype. And it's on Netflix. It's called Intruder.
Intruder?
So bad. So bad. And I don't like to critique, but like, if I'm gonna critique, oh my god, this movie, I can't even tell you. It was so fucking bad. And I'm like, how did this get made? Like, how did this get made? It is
Moby,
so bad.
he has money. He probably self-financed it.
Why would he? Why though? It's so
Yeah, if you have
bad.
money,
He got
like,
suckered
go
into
out
it. That's
here.
why.
Oh my God. Like, it's so bad. But yeah, it kind of reminded me of Hush though. Like, I don't know, the whole Intruder.
You guys suck.
No.
You guys are terrible. You don't like Hush. What's wrong with you? The next thing you're gonna tell me is you don't like Your Next.
Don't breathe with
So I didn't like It Follows, and people are gonna hate on me all the
I
time.
hated that.
Oh my god! Podcast over. First episode. Well, this is our last episode. Sorry.
Can we cut and then do another podcast today? Movies we
I
hate?
walked out of that, It Follows, and I was like, what the? Oh my gosh, I had such high hopes for this. And he was like, that was great. I'm all,
I could talk for a long time. I could go like in depth of why. I could go in depth of why I don't like that movie. I liked Your Next. I thought that was decent. The masks were great. The acting was good. I like Your Next, but It Follows, and like that movie had so much hype, and even John Carpenter was like, "Oh, this is a great film," and like Papa says it's okay, you know, but like I went into it thinking the music's good, it's shot really cool. You don't really know what decade it's supposed to be in. Oh my fucking god! Like an old man walking after you and like sex spreading disease. I don't know what.
which they
fucking
could have
boring.
done so much more with that. Like the
Boring.
idea, I'm like, what? I don't know. To me, it was.
Boring as all fuck. I'm sorry. Like boring as all fuck. Like there were okay.
I
I'm
just
not
didn't know
gonna-
what they were doing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was just this weird. All all these twists and turns, and I'm like,
there were some good scenes. Okay, like when she's in her room and then that tall guy comes walking. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
What else? There was another one. The girl with like her boobs out, like kind of creepy. That was a good scene. But then like what the hell?
they make it a short.
Like, yeah, like I don't know. I can get it. Like old people are making a comeback.
Well,
in
I
movies.
can't remember now, which isn't helpful, but there was inconsistencies for me where I was like,
yeah.
Wait a minute, so you couldn't do that before, but now you can fight it like this, or, there was some weird things where I was like, this doesn't work.
There's a way to do, like, sexual, like, Shivers. I don't know if you ever saw Shivers, where you have sex and, like, this thing spreads. That was a great film. There's a way to do it. This didn't really explain, and you don't need to explain a lot, but you need kind of some background and where it came from, or, like, I don't know, it didn't flow well with me. Yes, I thought it was shot well. The actors were okay. The music was good. But I was bored. I was like, okay. The opener was great. That girl's legs spread. That was
on
awesome.
the beach.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good movie. Like, I'm excited for this. But then I was like, okay. I also did not like Get Out, and people are gonna jump on my ass for that too.
You know,
I don't fucking care. 'Cause that was a horrible
I
movie.
thought. Oh, I don't know about horrible movie.
It's so boring.
Okay.
It's so